I met a guy yesterday who won a watch in a card game. I'm not naming names. You know who you are. World Series of Poker Tuesday, right after Dream Job 2 here on ESPN.
Did you know? Brought to you by Samuel Adams. When you are ready for a distinctive brew, Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
Ahman Green rushed for 119 yards, and the Packers went over the Panthers Monday night. It was the third time in the last 4 season openers that Green surpassed the century mark.
Yeah, everybody knew that. Green has a history of getting off to a good start. But did you know, did you have any clue at all? Are you as stupid as we are? The guy with the most yards per game in a season opener, Jim Brown, the great Jim Brown, averaged $115.9 yards on the ground in 9 such contests. We're all done, but fine programming continues, and we're around all week.
What do you say we hit the mess hall?
Let's go right now.
Let's go eat.
Let's go watch some trucks.
Thanks for watching.
أوربت تحطم الرقم القياسي.
Is this how you go to work?
I like it. You know, look, he country boy.
He country, man. It's all right. It's a nice day. Jake Delhomme, defending NFC champion. And we know this is always how you go to work. We don't care what he wears. We don't care what he wears. The new season began for the man who led the league in touchdown passes, Brett and the Packers. Trying to get back to the show. It is on. The Packers and Panthers go to work where we go to work. Monday Night Countdown on the road. Next.
Why? We like a pack of wolves, and we ate in a while.
Claws sharpened and ready to rumble. The Panthers look to complete some unfinished Super Sunday business. We'll tell you why Jake Delhomme will be taking his air attack higher this year.
Blue 58!
Yo, listen up. We got Brett Favre wired up for soundtracks.
I'm hungry. I don't want a beanie weenie. Bratwurst.
And find out how John Elway prevented number 4 from calling it quits after last year. Football and auto racing go helmet to helmet. And at the point of impact, Panthers defensive end Mike Rucker.
Tight operation.
Buckle up, kid, because we're going backstage. Hey, you want to know what makes the Green Bay offense go? Step inside the Packers film room with Ahman Green and get the down low on Lambeau. Lots of old faces in brand new places, and why you really can go home again. Plus, son, you know you got to buckle up that chin strap. Because TJ's about to get you all jacked up. It is Monday Night Countdown on location in the Queen City, right here, right now.
Monday Night Countdown is delivered by UPS.
For real, we ain't no joke. Tell them, don't show them. We're gonna melt some cheese tonight, baby. Ugh. Yeah, baby.
Brothers do not need blue hair. Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the defending NFC champions, Carolina Panther fans, Green Bay Packer fans, and we are here for the next 90 minutes, taking you up to Monday Night Football tonight at 9 on ABC. Monday Night Countdown is in the house. Respect. Monday Night Football told the Panthers, yo, since you guys were the only team to go undefeated in the preseason, we're going to come to your house. It is live. Stuart, TJ, Michael, Jaws, guys, we're here. Week 1's almost done. The most memorable thing about Week 1, TJ?
Well, I think it's been a fantastic weekend. We started off with the AFC Championship, a rematch of. A lot of people thought this should have been the NFC Championship, and I'm going to go out on a limb because I like to do it. I think that these two teams, no matter what the outcome tonight, they will meet again down the road.
Well, that was gutsy, Tom.
It is gutsy. It is gutsy. Let me tell you what I'm caught up on Week 1 about. I thought I would see passes all day long. Everybody throwing, and I love seeing everybody throwing the ball. But what did I see? 11 guys rush for 100 or more yards. And you know what? 2 guys out here, Ahman Green and Stephen Davis, they haven't even played yet, so we could have 13.
Yeah, but you know what I saw? I saw those passes all over
Wait. You saw passes?
I saw passes all over the field. You think about it. Dante Culpepper, 5 touchdown passes. Donovan McNabb, 4 touchdown passes. Tom Brady, 3 touchdown passes. Oh, by the way, points do come out of the passing game. They all won.
Once the guy runs the ball down to the 1 yard line, we passed it in the end zone.
Listen, balance.
There you go.
That's what y'all was saying.
Thank you.
Brett Favre starting his 190th consecutive regular season game. He has seen a lot of them. Brett also starts what could be his last year, already second on the all-time list in touchdown passes. By the time the season's over, he could be third all-time in passing yards. A bust in Canton awaits him 5 years to the second after he retires. But focus up, people. This is the here and now. 2 real good teams that both believe they are legit contenders for the Super Bowl. Ed Werder, speak the word about tonight's game.
All right, Stuart, nobody to argue with, 60 yards away from you. The last time that we saw Brett Favre, he was throwing an interception that ended the Packers' season. He told me he's replayed that mistake in his mind more than any other mistake he's made throughout his career. Tonight marks his first chance to do something about it. And if the Packers' veteran offensive line can protect the quarterback against maybe the best front 4 in the league, then Favre might be able to exploit a young Panthers secondary that includes a rookie starting corner and a free safety making his first NFL start. The Packers have similar defensive concerns without their best cover corner Mike McKenzie forfeiting his $162,000 game check tonight to continue his contract holdout. But unlike Favre, Jake Delhomme operates behind a makeshift offensive line that has only 1 starter in the same position he occupied a year ago. I talked to Delhomme this afternoon. I asked him, after making the Super Bowl a year ago, what's your motivation? And he said, that's it. We got to the Super Bowl. We didn't get it done. That's our motivation. Stu, it's interesting to note that only 7 teams in NFL history have made the Super Bowl 1 year and lost the game and made it back the following year, and it hasn't happened in 11 years since Buffalo did it.
Ed Werder, spoken word. We appreciate it. We'll hear from you later, Ed. Still ahead, why it was John Elway who kept Brett Favre from calling it quits after last year. And Amon Green takes us inside the Packers film room for a look at what makes the Green Bay O go. And Carolina offense conservative, come on, dog. Not when Jake is back there flinging it, and why he might be going deep a lot this year. And T.O. tried TD as easy as 1, 2, 3 trips to the house. Why it already looks like the Eagles have found the missing piece to the Super Bowl puzzle. Monday Night Countdown. We are live in Charlotte, North Cackalackton. And we'll be back. If you move, we'll rip this cable out.
ESPN joins the fans of the most beautiful game in the world. In Europe, skill, tactic, and precision. In the United States, force, courage, and speed. In Brazil, magic, passion, and talent. In the Netherlands, touch, power, and excitement. And if that's not enough, the World Cup qualifying matches crowns the trip around the 5 continents. Football around the world on ESPN, the world's greatest fan.
We take you to Pebble Beach, California, where Champions Tour star Craig Stadler continued a strong year. Stadler captured his 4th title of the season, shooting a final round 66, finishing 15 under par at the inaugural First Tee Open at Pebble Beach. He now has 7 victories overall in 2 years. ESPN celebrates Craig Stadler, our Athlete of the Week.
Los Angeles flight only has 1 window seat.
Hey, I thought that was you.
From Los Angeles, California, X Games 10, September 21, only on ESPN.
This week on ESPN, the UEFA Champions League continues Wednesday, including the live match between Leverkusen and Real Madrid. Thursday is Action Sports Day on ESPN with a special preview of X Games 10. Then later, the best in beach soccer take to the sands of Italy at the European Pro Series. And Friday, high rollers go for broke at the World Series of Poker. Sports all day, every day on ESPN this week.
Monday Night Countdown is delivered by UPS. Global shipping you can count on. UPS. What can Brown do for you? And in part by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service.
A lot of new faces and new places, including Clinton Portis, 29 carries, $148. Look good, y'all. Look good for the Redskins.
Boy, that looks like a UM guy.
That's the first carry of the day.
Of the game. And the guy he was traded for, Champ Bailey, Champ also did some work in his new home. Bailey had 6 tackles and that ridiculous interception. 1 catch for 11 yards on offense. Looks like if you move, you obviously like your new surroundings. One other brother, new face in a new place. That's your boy, Michael.
Prime time.
Yeah, well, he had 1 punt return for 5 yards, but nobody threw to him.
They were scared.
Garcia, I don't know if he was scared. He may have been.
No, I said they were scared.
They were scared.
They were scared.
They didn't want to try him. He still had that jump on him. Keyshawn Johnson, 9 catches, 111 yards. He did his job. Keyshawn, one of the best blocking wideouts in the league, and he took some hard hits. Key, right there. Oh, hello. Sorry, dog. Wake up. And Kurt Warner, ouch.
Speaking of scared,
he had a rough week 1 last year against the Giants. For the Giants, 16-28, 203, no touchdowns, but no interceptions in his new place in the Big Apple.
Played well.
He did play well.
He did.
Speaking of playing well in a new place.
Woo, yeah.
Terrell Owens went stupid. 8 catches, 68 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I know, T.O., I know you got some biceps. T.O. showed his biceps. He said, this is why I came here. And then we said, T.O., here's a microphone. Speak. Talk to us.
It's just a situation where, you get a guy like Donovan and myself, you're just going out there playing pitch and catch, and you're just going out there playing football. I mean, I'm loving it. This is what I came here for. This is obviously, why I've gotten all the love. They came to the stadium today to see a good show.
I think the thing about T.O. is the fact that after the catch, he begins to get a lot of yards. And with his strength and his size, he's able to take on hits and continue to move. And what it does for us, obviously, is it opens up things for everyone else. It takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the guys.
I think after we make a good point, a good comment, we should just do like that.
Like him.
Like T.O. made a good catch, you do like that.
I have no
We've been doing a lot of that.
I have no problem with that. Oh, you cut it out, bro.
Hey, last year, all the Eagles wideouts together all year had 5 touchdown catches. T.O. had 3 by himself in one game. Jaws, what do they have to do to keep this up?
Well, first of all, we know he went crazy. Donovan had a terrific game, but you have to look at the real catalyst, in my opinion, for the Eagles offense. The guy that kept that offense on schedule was Brian Westbrook. He carried the ball 17 times for 119 yards. He had 3 receptions for 42 yards. That's 161 yards on 20 touches, over 8 yards per touch. When you look at Brian Westbrook at 5'10", 205 pounds, Andy Reid couldn't have scripted it any better. Give him 20 touches a game. He augments what T.O. and Donovan get done.
Yeah, you said a catalyst. He's a catalyst because T.O. removed all the problems for him. Everybody backed up and let him do all the running because they were trying to stop T.O. I want to talk to you for a moment about a special relationship between a quarterback and a wide receiver. And that special relationship can take you all the way to the Super Bowl. And I watched these guys develop it, and they have it. I want to talk about one play in particular. This kind of play, no one can even teach you this. When you see Donovan McNabb, he rolling all the way right. He looks all the way right, turns all the way around. 3 guys were covering T.O. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And he still found him, and he he's wide open in the touchdown.
Why is that so special, Mike?
Because
why?
That's something a coach can't teach you. That's a feeling. That's
right.
Hey, you and I have this rapport together, and we will be there for one another. It's good going into the game knowing I got me 6, 7, 8 catches coming to me. You can play football that way, and you can win a lot of ball games.
Esprit de corps.
What?
Yeah, I'll throw that in.
Esprit de corps. Look that up. Speaking of McNabb and T.O., Chris Mortensen, he made the trip down with us and joins us now. Mort, how closely did Owens and McNabb work together during the offseason?
Well, they weren't just sitting around sipping Kool-Aid and eating chunky soup, Stu. In fact, that very thing that Michael's talking about, they worked on a practice field. They talked about it. Not your traditional scramble drill where everybody works at a different level. You saw it in preseason. T.O. actually working back in a misdirection, finding that open window, and McNabb right on the mark. It's a pretty impressive chemistry this early, Tommy.
Well, look here, and yes, T.O. and Donovan McNabb were great. There is no doubt about that. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Hater!
There were only 2 things wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles that kept them out of the Super Bowl last year. Now, they fixed one of them with T.O. But that other thing, run defense.
Oh, yeah.
That 150 yards a game that they gave up 9 out of 13 games. Yesterday against the Giants, who are not an outstanding football team, they gave up 177.4 yards per carry. At some point during the season, that will jump up and bite them. You have to fix that other thing.
That other thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Back in Philly, we're working on that other thing.
But the thing that works well. Donovan and T.O., 3 times they hooked up for touchdown passes.
Absolutely.
Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, twice they hooked up. Donovan and Dante, 9 touchdown passes between them yesterday. Guys, next Monday night, Donovan against Culpepper. Vikings against the Eagles.
Stay tuned.
You would want to watch next Monday night and watch us beforehand, as always. Still up? You thought Curtis was done? Go ask the Bengals D if he's done. The drive of the day that drove the Jets to the win in Week 1. And running back putting up their Sunday best all over the map. Amon Green and Stephen Davis looking to join the party tonight. Whose Monday is going to be a memorable one? Stick and stay. We're rolling back in that. Ouch. We are live in the Cackalack Barbecue, everybody. They do it right here.
Up in the foul ground. Hillenbrand, did he make the play? Yes, he did. What a sensational catch made by Hillenbrand.
I mean, I grew up watching baseball.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
What a play by Clayton. 2 pretty good shortstops out there tonight, huh?
You can see he's going to hang up, but Delgado is there, and he reaches in, and he got it. He caught it.
Right field sinking fast. Roberts dives and makes the catch. Double play coming up as he fires to second for the out. The NFL on ESPN roars into the regular season with the 3rd big game of the week. Brett Favre leads the Green Bay Packers against the defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers. Packers-Panthers, live tonight on ESPN. What began as a novelty is now a phenomenon. For 10 years, ESPN has led where few dared to go. Taking a new breed of athlete through the turn of the century. From Los Angeles, California, X Games 10, only on ESPN. ESPN presents an encore of the finest UEFA games from last year with the best of the UEFA Champions League. Tomorrow, FC Porto completes their dream season in the championship game against AS Monaco. The best of the UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
No equipment needed. Only your hands and your heart. And according to the outcome, you will live 3 minutes of hell or 3 minutes of glory. Friday Night Fights on ESPN.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS.
ESPN Sunday Night Football this week coming from Cincinnati. Carson Palmer, who already showed he can make every pass in the book, leads the new-look Bengals against Jason Taylor and the Dolphins. Sunday night, 8:30 Eastern, right after NFL prime time. Chris Mortensen rejoins us now. Mort, fans in the great Northwest, we were bigging Sean Alexander up. He had a great day. They were loving it until he went down for an injury. What's the latest on his knee injury?
Well, it's good news for Sean Alexander and the Seahawks. They're calling it just a bone bruise, no other damage there, and he's day-to-day, and they expect him to play against the Buccaneers this week. What they do have to do that you think would be a concern to them is travel again. They are playing the NFC South in one of their divisional matchups, so they went to New Orleans this week. They turn around. They got to come back to Tampa on Friday, and that's more than 14,000 miles in this week. But their owner is Paul Allen. He's got a few bucks, too. In fact, he's got a customized 757 this team is traveling on. They have all first-class seats on this thing. They were watching prime time last night live when they were on their flight home. They watched the Sunday night Chiefs-Broncos game, and they can call home anytime they want. No expense cut there, Stu. So traveling for the Seahawks, not a bad deal.
It's the same kind of plane that we have to drive down here.
Yeah.
Or not. Down in Dallas, Mort, there's some concern with the running game. Eddie George didn't carry the ball at all in the second half, and Julius Jones was inactive. What's the real deal down in Big League?
You know, the rookie Julius Jones bruised his ribs in preseason, and he asked out of a game, and there's been a sense there that maybe Bill Parcells is trying to teach Julius Jones a lesson that you got to play hurt. But I think that Bill Parcells' biggest criteria right now is to protect Vinny Testaverde. He knew that was going to be a shootout yesterday, and it's not so much Julius Jones running the football as much as it is Julius Jones blocking and picking up the blitz for Vinny Testaverde. I do think that Julius Jones has a chance to play this week.
All right, Mort, we appreciate the knowledge. Stick around, because later, I know the people will not want to miss this. You will have information on Jerry Rice's new role with the Raiders. That's later, coming up on Monday Night Countdown.
I hate to... Sean Alexander, how you get a bone bruise you didn't get hit?
No, I didn't. Boy, I'm telling you.
Never mind. Go.
Now you playing doctor.
Hey, go.
All right, Dr. Jackson, it's
I'm
okay.
not a doctor.
We ain't driving Miss Daisy, but it is time for Jaws to do his Sunday drive. One key drive that was paramount, tantamount to the situation
I
in
like
some particular game.
And it was at the Meadowlands in New York. The New York Jets in the fourth quarter, they had one heck of a drive to ice the football game. Let's take a look at Miss Daisy up at the Meadowlands. Fourth quarter, 24-17 Jets, 2nd and 10. Pete Kendall, Kevin Mawai, Brandon Moore. Hey, let's give him the old spot shadow. Yeah, we'll check him out right there. Now watch when this play starts. Kendall, Wayne Trebet, and Moore all get 3 great blocks right there. And Kevin Mawai, the lead blocker, like a fullback, leads Curtis Martin for 9 yards, tough yards. Later in the drive, 2nd and 10. Justin McCarron's top of your screen. Give him the spot shadow. There he is against Torrey James. Look at the bump coverage. Great job by McCarron's of getting inside of Torrey James. And look at the throw by Pennington, the completion. Let's look at it from the end zone. Oh, watch Torrey James. Oh, let's grab the jersey, not let him inside. No, McCarron says,
Ain't you supposed to hit him on a bump?
Hey, yeah, he missed him. But great throw by Vinny. Later in the drive, 3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3. You got to jam at the line of scrimmage. What do the Bengals do? They give Wayne Trebet, one of the best slot receivers in the game, a free release. Look at the timing of Vinny. Hits Trebet for 13 yards and a 1st down on 3rd and 3. Let's look at the accuracy of this throw from the end zone. Plant, step, throw between the linebacker and the safety on the money. Trebet breaks the tackle and moves for another 1st down for the New York Jets. Look at this. Curtis Martin up the middle. 6 yards on this play. Mawai, Brandon Moore just bulldozing people. Later in the game, this is big right here. Look at the big fellas out in front. Mawai, Fabini, Kendall. Look at Mawai and Kendall blocking. Now look at this block. Jason Fabini downfield. This allows Curtis Martin to go 24 yards. The Jets go up 31-17. They win the game 31-24. What was most impressive, that last play, Curtis Martin going 24 yards. He looked like a rookie. Where did that giddy up come from? What speed? It was awesome.
It was all all of the older dudes, man. Curtis Martin, 196, 31 years old. Marshall Faulk had over 120, 30. And 56-year-old Jerome and 56-year-old Emmett Smith came out of retirement to have 87. And it was the way that they did it. Emmett looked quick. Marshall looked quick. They were hitting the hole.
It was game one.
It was game one.
They did have a 5-month layoff.
Devil's advocate. It was game one.
How long have they been off?
5 months.
So they're well rested.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. Tom, you ain't right, man. We are all getting ready for the Monday night game tonight. Hope you guys are getting ready for it. Packers getting ready for the Panthers. Coming up, we'll look back at one of the Packers' most memorable plays in tonight's Monday Night Memory, brought to you by IBM. Stay with us.
Tied with the Vikings in overtime, facing 3rd down and 4. Packers quarterback Brett Favre threw deep to Antonio Freeman, and Green Bay's prayers hung in the air.
Lays it up for Freeman, and it's incomplete. Or did he make the catch at the 15? What are they going to rule it? He caught it? Touchdown! He did what? It never hit the ground. Another manic Monday.
Monday Night Memories are brought to you by IBM, the official information technology partner of the NFL and a worldwide leader in on-demand business.
Don't move. Emerging storylines and huge impact performances from a bananas week 1. Jaws, Michael, and TJ go 3 and out ahead. And we're busting straight up the middle with Panthers running back Stephen Davis. We'll show you exactly how the Panthers execute their deadly down your esophagus throat power rush. We just like the imagery of that. We're at the stadium in the Queen City. We're coming back. Don't move.
Kick off each and every weekend with the new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. All the burning issues of the moment covered in full by our expert panel. More interviews.
Breaking news concerning Patrick Vieira.
More interaction.
Not a chance.
More controversy.
They're just talk.
The all-new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass.
Don't you like football? You running it away from football?
Same show, only better. Fridays, only on ESPN. For the thrills and spills of motorsports all season long is ESPN. It's the second half of the season, and now is the time for the contenders to show their stuff. Don't miss all the exciting action of the Major League Baseball pennant races every week on ESPN. Great sports every day is ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
The wait is over. The UEFA Champions League returns to ESPN with full-day coverage of Group Stage 1, Match Day 1. Live Tuesday, Scottish holders Celtic host La Liga's Barcelona. Then on to Italy, where Inter battles German club Bremen. Later, PSG faces the #1 club in the world, Chelsea. Then live on Wednesday, Leverkusen is home to face the legends Real Madrid. Dutch power Ajax is in Amsterdam to play Juventus. And we finish up when Lyon takes on the old firm Manchester United. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
The NFL on ESPN roars into the regular season with the third big game of the week. Brett Favre leads the Green Bay Packers against the defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers. Packers-Panthers, live tonight on ESPN.
No equipment needed. Only your hands and your heart. And according to the outcome, you will live 3 minutes of hell. Or 3 minutes of glory. Friday Night Fights on ESPN.
Packer kicker Ryan Longwell trying to get long in a perfect North Carolina evening. Packers in town facing NFC champion Panthers. Ed Werder on the field. Speak the word.
Stuart, I talked to Brett Favre as he began his warm-ups a little while ago, and as he was throwing, I asked him what he thought of that young Panthers secondary and whether he could exploit it, and he said, when I look at the Panthers defense, all I see is that front four. They are as good or better than the Bucs were just a couple of years ago at their zenith. His right tackle, Mark Tosher, overheard that remark, and he said, hey, Brett, don't worry about the big guys. We'll take care of them. You worry about the little guys. The Packers have a veteran offensive line, but Coach Mike Sherman told me, Stu, that he does have concerns at center. Mike Flanagan missed 3 preseason games.
Ed, we appreciate it, man. New segment on Monday Countdown is called Hurry Up Offense. All right, basically, I ask questions. You guys just answer.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Hurry up and answer.
Hurry up, like.
You got 2 minutes. All of us have been on TV enough. We don't need all the FaceTime. All right, we'll hit it. Will Stephen Davis rush for 1,500 yards?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Quarterback, of course.
This team now has balance.
Well, quick,
That's why he may go for 1,500 yards.
They're still coached by John Fox.
Who is Carolina's toughest opponent in the NFC South?
New Orleans.
I think Atlanta. Hurry up.
Somebody say something resembling anything. Atlanta.
I think Atlanta.
It'll be New Orleans.
All right.
Okay. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Atlanta.
It's supposed to be quick.
Did you see New Orleans?
Is the Packers' offensive line the best in the NFL?
No.
But I like the comment he just made to Brett. Now, that changes some stuff
It's
for
the
me.
New York Jets.
But answer the question, though.
No, New York Jets.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City. I like Kansas City.
All right. Is this Brett Favre's last year?
No.
No.
All right. Thank you.
No.
We all agreed for once.
There you go.
Which starting quarterback will lose his job next?
Kurt Warner. That's real. That's real. And right after him, Drew Brees.
Hey.
We give you that kind of money, baby. We got to get somebody.
A.J. Feely.
All right, well, Feely.
Wait.
That's going to be flip-flopping on down in Miami.
Next question. Feely, Fiedler, or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They watched one guy for 100 days and benched him in a half hour.
With no Ricky, it doesn't matter.
Tommy's right.
Tommy's
right. No. You must settle on your quarterbacks early and stick with them.
But you got to have a quarterback to settle on.
So what you trying to say?
They don't have a quarterback.
Just wanted to make sure. Which team was the biggest disappointment of Week 1?
Ooh, I thought St. Louis, even though they won.
Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens.
Doesn't have a bad team.
Oh, everyone had got Baltimore in the Super Bowl, that defense.
St. Louis.
No way. They won.
Almost said the Kansas City Chiefs, except Charles.
Okay, guys. Now, very important. Worst uniform in the NFL.
Oh, I just don't like Cleveland because they don't have anything on their helmets. And I grew up in that town. I always thought they need something on their helmet.
Mike, what you looking for?
Green Bay's doesn't look that good either.
Oh, Mike.
Green Bay's, they don't look good. They're plain simple with just the G.
You're asking tough questions like that. But I agree that, the Cleveland Browns do not have a logo on the helmet.
No logo. I lived with it.
Have a logo.
Growing up. I lived with it.
I had to remember what Green Bay.
Chris Mortensen, we're not going to ask you those questions. We'll ask you some other questions. Mortensen joins us again.
Stu.
Huh?
They're babbling over there.
Like you never babbled? Hey, Mort, Jerry Rice yesterday caught just 2 passes in the Raiders' loss. Is his role changing?
He started.
جار القمر كل خميس 7 مساء بتوقيت غرينتش.
ESPN presents an encore of the finest UEFA games from last year with the best of the UEFA Champions League. Tomorrow, FC Porto completes their dream season in the championship game against AS Monaco. The best of the UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
Up in the foul ground. Hillenbrand, did he make the play? Yes, he did. What a sensational catch made by Hillenbrand.
I grew up watching baseball this way.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Goodness.
What a play-by-play. Two pretty good shortstops out there tonight, huh?
You can see
He's going to hang up, but Delgado is there, and he reaches in, and he got it. He caught it.
To right field, sinking fast. Roberts dives and makes the catch. Double play coming up as he fires to second for the out.
We take you to Pebble Beach, California, where Champions Tour star Craig Stadler continued a strong year. Stadler captured his 4th title of the season, shooting a final round 66, finishing 15 under par at the inaugural First Tee Open at Pebble Beach. He now has 7 victories overall in 2 years. ESPN celebrates Craig Stadler, our Athlete of the Week.
This week on ESPN, the UEFA Champions League continues Wednesday, including the live match between Leverkusen and Real Madrid. Thursday is Action Sports Day on ESPN with a special preview of X Games 10. Then later, the best in beach soccer take to the sands of Italy at the European Pro Series. And Friday, high rollers go for broke at the World Series of Poker. Sports all day, every day on ESPN this week.
Watching Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS.
They call him Foxy. Carolina coach John Fox, one of the most underrated coaches in the league. In 2 years, he took his team from 1-15 to the Super Bowl. Big ups to Foxy. ESPN Sunday Night Football this week coming from Cincinnati. Carson Palmer leads the new-look Bengals against Jason Taylor and the Miami Dolphins. Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right after NFL. Hey, the line of the week. Jerome Bettis against the Raiders. He was their goal line specialist. 5 carries, 3 touchdowns, which is bananas enough. But his line, 5 carries, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing yard. 1 rushing yard and 3 touchdowns. 3 was the magic number, which means it's time for our 3 and out. 1 topic, 3 points, get off the field. You ready for the topic?
Ready for the topic.
All right, teams that impressed you.
Well, TJ, guess who it was? The Denver Broncos impressed me in a game that they absolutely had to win against the Kansas City Chiefs, the division champions. They were playing at home in a nationally televised game. Quentin Griffin, outstanding, as well as Champ Bailey, the newest Bronco. And Quentin came up so huge, 156 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and he almost had a 4th touchdown. Champ Bailey did everything from playing corner, running the football, and also receiving the football. So my Denver Broncos did an outstanding job against your Kansas City Chiefs.
That was amazing. Your Denver Broncos. Well, my Seattle Seahawks defense came to the party yesterday. I love the way they played the D. Limited Deuce McAllister to 16 carries, 57 yards. Aaron Brooks, less than 50% complete. Only 281 yards did the Saints get in offense, and they are very explosive. explosive. Ray Rhodes has that Seattle defense flying to the football, making plays.
Well, guys, I'm going right there. Did you see that grab by Roy Williams?
Yes.
Did you see that grab? I want to show it to you again. I got to say something to Roy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Roy. I called Roy Williams soft, and that was not a soft guy's grab. Roy, I'm sorry again. Detroit Lions showed up, and they played great ball. Charles Rogers got hurt, but Roy Williams stepped in. I'm looking for Roy to have a big year. I'm sorry again. I just got that out.
I just want to throw this in. There's going to be 8 times this year where the Washington Redskins are going to play like they did yesterday before the Denver Broncos. Now, I'm not saying that Coach Shanahan, he was brilliant yesterday, that he's going to try to get Quentin Griffin more yards, more touchdowns than Clinton Portis. But I think he will. I think he will. Just look at the numbers as those games go by.
Clinton had 156.
And how many did the other guy?
Clinton
more.
had 48. Q had more.
Yeah, more.
That might happen several times.
He's watching.
Speaking of running backs, you know, I can sit up here and recite Ahman Green's numbers last year, and we're talking fat numbers. He led the NFC in rushing, 1,883 yards, tied for 7th best ever. But the best thing about Ahman, other than the fact that he has an obsession with Batman, is in the open field, he is the prettiest runner in the game. Knees high, perfect stride, pretty off. But what you don't know, he's also a perfect student of the game, as we found out on Inside Slant.
97 V-counter gap. Robust right tight close.
Handoff, Green bouncing left to the outside. Exclamation point, touchdown!
One of the Packers' base running plays, it's the counter gap to the weak side.
Counter play, it's a double trap happening on the play side. But as a runner, what I got to do is, be patient. Everything is timing. The shuffle steps over, give you time, and the rest is up to you on how patient you can be for everybody picking up their blocks. You have the pulling guard coming around, and he wants to seal it off. What's going on right here with Marco, with the guard pulling, that's logging the guy. He hits the guy head on, but then he kind of bellies around and squares him off and shields him from the outside, and that's what we call a log block. But with him logging that guy, that lets me know to get outside, lets the fullback know to get outside. The second puller, which is the fullback, he's another guy where you got to read his block and get up the field.
Couple key blocks, William Henderson on the kick out and leading through the hole, Marco Rivera. The Packers looking like a well-oiled machine.
Give Green left side, walks into the end zone, touchdown!
Good run, baby, good run. Great block, great block.
You run the football! Henderson and Green, the offset eye. Driver in motion to the left. Favre fakes the handoff to Henderson, dumps it off right side. Green to the end zone. Touchdown! 10 yards on the screenplay, and Ahman Green made it happen.
Because he's a complete football player. Not just running with the football, but also receiving. There was a screen pass.
The screen is going to the left. It's the center, the guard, and the play side tackle. Probably the play side guard will be the first to release. And the second guy, usually the kick out guy, which is the center. If anybody left out here, he'll kick him out first. I got to let my offensive line get their block, because that'll make my job a lot easier. Right here is a blitz with the safety and the linebacker off the corner. And what I got to do is let them in, but don't let them to the quarterback. So I'm acting like I'm getting them, but I'm faking. Be coming after. Act like I'm picking them up, chip them, get out, because I know once I catch that ball, there's nobody over there.
Dumps it off the right side. He's got Green with some blocking. To the 5, to the end zone, for the touchdown! Ahman Green just running to daylight through a cavalcade of blockers.
The Panthers, one of the proudest and toughest defenses in the NFL.
They're aggressive. You have Dan Morgan, you have Fields, he's back, the D lineman, Rucker, Jenkins, Peppers, Minter. I went to college with him, so I know he's smart and aggressive, can hit you very hard if you don't see him coming. Even if you see him coming, he still can knock you out. I know going in this game that it's not going to be an easy game, along with all the things that you look at in the tendency of a defense. You still got to go out there and be ready to play, regardless of how good or how fast and how hard they hit. You got to be able to do the same to them.
First up left side of the 15 to the 10, to move the 5, touchdown, Ahman Green!
There he is, getting ready to do work. Ahman leads the NFL with 7,598 yards from scrimmage the past 3 seasons. That's a whole lot of giddy up. But, don't be fooled. Last year, Packers' percentage of total plays, their offense, rushing plays more than 50%. And look in years past. I mean, it's been a Brett Favre passing team before. Last year, it was Ahman in his rushing game. Tommy, why did the Packers change it up?
Well, they changed it up because Brett Favre went to the coaching staff, as you heard earlier on this show, and he told them, we need to have Ahman Green be the guy to set up the passing game and play action for me. But I think when you look at tonight with Chris Gamble, rookie corner, when you look at a guy at the safety spot starting his first game, I think that the Packers may turn back the clock tonight, and Brett may use the passing game in order to set up the run, especially game one, where a team doesn't know anything that you're going to do. Now, let's do something that they don't expect.
You know, hearing you say that,
it's shocking.
Brett
It's shocking.
It's shocking. And you're from Denver. It just reminds me of someone else that did that. Sounds like Elway. He was a great quarterback, but when TD came, he gave him that play action. He gave Elway everything he needed to get to those back-to-back Super Bowls to help him end his career the way he needed to.
But Ahman Green is a complete running back. Absolutely. That's the key. You know, Tommy talked about what a pretty runner he is, and yes, he could run with the rock. But as I study Ahman Green in the coach's tape, I see a complete running back. He blocks very well. He picks up the blitzes. He understands the slide of the offensive line. He knows where the blitz will come from. That play evidence against the Philadelphia Eagles where they had the screen called. He knew he had the chip before it went out. That's great awareness. He's also a receiver out of the backfield. The Packers may be the best screen team in football because Ahman Green knows how to run the screen. He's patient and he sets up his block. He's a complete back.
But why is it that people still don't, when you think great backs, you think Clinton Portis, Danian Tomlinson, Priest Holmes.
Because
why does anybody think Brett Favre? Because of Brett Favre.
Because Brett Favre is still on this team.
And here's the thing. You mentioned that Brett went to the Packers and said, hey, focus the offense around that guy.
That's right.
Well, the Packers did. Brett still led the NFL in touchdown passes.
That's right. He's smart.
That says something about Brett Favre. He says something about us, and we just continue to do work here on Monday Night Countdown. We're flipping through the pages of the Panthers playbooks, and it looks like deep trouble for opposing defenses. Why you should expect Jake Delhomme to be airing it out a lot this year. Hey, yo, save some for later, huh? Dante and Donovan already hogging the end zone. John Madden's take on why these two got off to fat starts in week one, and why three of their counterparts in that 99 QB class, well, why they watching the game like us. We're live in Carolina. We're coming back.
ESPN joins the fans of the most beautiful game in the world. In Europe, skill, tactic, and precision. In the United States, force, courage, and speed. In Brazil, magic, passion, and talent. In the Netherlands, touch, power, and excitement. And if that's not enough, the World Cup qualifying matches crowns the trip around the 5 continents. Football around the world on ESPN, the world's greatest fan. Kick off each and every weekend with the new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. All the burning issues of the moment covered in full by our expert panel. More interviews.
Breaking news concerning Patrick Vieira.
More interaction.
Not a chance.
More controversy.
Just talk.
The all-new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass.
Don't you like football? You running it away from football?
There's enough. Same show, only better. Fridays, only on ESPN.
We take you to Pebble Beach, California, where Champions Tour star Craig Stadler continued a strong year. Stadler captured his 4th title of the season, shooting a final round 66, finishing 15 under par at the inaugural First Tee Open at Pebble Beach. He now has 7 victories overall in 2 years. ESPN celebrates Craig Stadler, our Athlete of the Week.
The Los Angeles flight only has one window seat.
I thought that was you.
From Los Angeles, California, X Games 10, September 21, only on ESPN.
The NFL on ESPN roars into the regular season with the 3rd big game of the week. Brett Favre leads the Green Bay Packers against the defending NFC champion Carolina Panthers. Packers-Panthers, live tonight on ESPN.
Welcome back to Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS.
We call football players our heroes. Our real heroes, the men and women at Camp Arab John in Kuwait, doing their football, flag football style. Sports Center in Kuwait this week. Guys and girls, I will be there later in the week. Honored to be joining you all later on. Look at that. Yeah, Favre, back up. Yeah. That's a cannon like Brett got. We like that. There's the man, Brett Favre, about to do work in his 25th career Monday Night Football start. Ed Werder spent some time with the Packers and Panthers before the game. Ed, holla at us one time.
All right, Stu, you know, the Packers are seeking any advantage that they can get. So tonight, they'll become the first team in a regular season NFL game to use these air-cooled shoulder pads. Now, they've been modified to have a tube that connects to an air compressor located behind the bench. 11 players at a time can connect, and that will then allow them to blow air that's 38 to 40 degrees over their chest and upper back, allowing them to control their body core temperatures. And just in case you think this might be useless soon as temperatures lower, well, the process can be used and the technology reversed so that it blows warm air, heating the body. So, Stu, it seems in December in Green Bay, Mike Sherman might have a hard time getting certain players off the bench and back in the game.
Ed, we appreciate it. Jake Delhomme, here's the deal about Jake. He's not what you consider a passing QB, but he's a winner. Won't put up a bunch of 300-yard passing games. Only had 2 in the regular season last year. But just when you thought the 323 that he had in the Super Bowl, just when you thought that was a fluke, let my man Jaws school you in his playbook why you might not know what you're talking about.
Absolutely right, Stu. And people look at the Carolina Panthers, a conservative offensive team, because they run the football. That is dead wrong. When they throw the football, they throw it down the field. Last season, they ranked 7th in passing plays of 20 yards or more. Had 46 of them. More than the Indianapolis Colts, more than the Philadelphia Eagles. And the main reason why, Jake Delhomme can throw the ball accurately down the field.
Last year, Jake Delhomme finished the postseason with a passer rating just over 106, the highest since 1985. His gunslinging style and pinpoint accuracy allows him to make any throw on the field, especially throws down the seam. On 1st and 10, the Panthers line up in a 3 wide receiver set. When Ricky Proehl motions across the formation, New England drops to a 2 deep safety look, a predominant defensive alignment in Super Bowl 38. Here's how Carolina attacked. The play design is 3 vertical routes off play action. At the bottom of the screen, focus on receiver Steve Smith. His outside release causes safety Sean Mayer to widen off his deep hash. That creates a huge void in the Patriots' secondary. From the end zone angle, you see how the play action affects linebacker Teddy Bruschi. The run fake is just enough to keep Bruschi's eyes in the backfield, allowing Proehl to attack the soft area in the Patriots' defense. This is a throw of anticipation and touch. Jake knew where to go with the ball and executed with perfection. The result? A 31-yard gain and a Panthers first down.
The seam throw is a staple of the Carolina offense. We saw Ricky Proehl catch that one. Throughout the season last year in the playoffs, Steve Smith caught a lot of them. Musa Muhammad, a great seam route runner. That's a feel route. This receiving core has a great feel for route running, and Jake Delhomme delivers the ball with great anticipation, Tommy. And another guy to watch, Kerry Colbert, their rookie. Ricky Proehl told me a few moments ago he's grooming him. He's going to be a good one.
Well, Charles, the last time we saw Jake Delhomme, he was tearing the New England Patriots apart. Yes, they lost the game to New England, but when you think about New England, they dominated Peyton Manning, they dominated Steve McNair, but when it came to this guy, Jake Delhomme, he was the dominant guy. Now they have gone through a perfect preseason. I always say preseason doesn't mean a whole lot unless you win them all or lose them all. If you lose them all, you're wondering, boy, how do we get a win? If you win them all, you're going out thinking, I've got a lot of confidence, and that's what Jake Delhomme is going to bring this time around. He's bringing a lot more confidence.
Last year they won them all, too.
Yeah, and let me tell you something now. Last time I saw Jake Delhomme was last night. I was in Tampa with those guys and eating dinner with those guys. And I'm watching Jake Delhomme, and he looks like a totally different than he did last year. You remember last year he would say, if I could just throw 1 or 2 passes and we'll win, I'm happy. Now he looks like I'm supposed to throw for 300 yards every game, and that attitude, it is very, very contagious. This football team has confidence, and it can be a dangerous football team.
And we talked about their offensive line, all the changes in that. Don't forget the defensive line, Peppers, Rucker, Jenkins, Buckner. They remain intact for the 3rd straight year, and last year, 32.5 sacks, second best among all defensive lines. So the D is tight. Every Monday night, we talk to John Madden by satellite. I'm in the studio, John's on site, the little satellite thing goes up in the air, beams up, something comes down. It's live TV. This week, it's different. I got a chance to just walk up to him, give him a hug, give him a hand pound, and rap a little bit. Tonight's game, we got a big one. But when you talk about it, you think Jake Delhomme led the Panthers to the Super Bowl. But with Stephen Davis and his 1,444 yards, John, is this team still a run-first, pass-second team?
Yeah, very much a run-first. I mean, this is what their offense is all about, is they're going to run the ball, then they're going to make you play the run. And then instead of going short passing, when they do throw, they throw deep. And I'll tell you, that's the thing that Jake Delhomme does very well. He's not, you know, he doesn't have a great touch. He's not a touch type of guy, but when you take the running game and a good defense, you know, led by a great front four, and then you put deep passing together, those are pretty good ingredients.
Speaking of deep passing, week 1, Dante Culpepper, Donovan McNabb, they combined for 9 touchdown passes. Now, they're a part of that class of 99 quarterbacking. Why did they succeed? And Achilles Smith, Tim Couch, Cade McNown out of the league now.
You know, that's the thing that you never know. You know, in scouting, they look at guys, and what you have to do is watch them in college and then project how they're going to be in the pros.
You project.
And that's the science of it. I mean, that's where they make the mistakes. You know, they say, well, geez, this guy really looks good in college, therefore I can see him as a pro, and then he goes to the pro and he's not a pro. Or conversely, sometimes they'll miss a guy in college, and, you know, that isn't a great college quarterback, and then he gets into pros, the Kurt Warners and all those guys.
Yeah, just throw it up in the air. Guess and hope and pray.
I mean, there is a little of that, you know, that, and it takes time for these guys, too. And then there's no right way. You know, you say, okay, you get a rookie quarterback, how do you do it? You know, well, Dante Culpepper, his first year, he didn't play at all. And then Donovan McNabb, he didn't go until about halfway through the season. It was after a bye or something. And you look at Peyton Manning, they just threw him right in. And all 3 of those guys are successful. So I don't know that there's a right way to do it. I think if the guy is going to be one, however you start him, he'll eventually become one.
Well, in facing Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss, Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Johnson's he's got a task on his hands because his secondary is inexperienced. What can he do to help those guys?
Well, you know, you always have to do something for Randy Moss. I mean, you can't leave anyone out there alone on him, so you always have to double him, and then that gives them a little running room with their running game, which they do pretty well, and then you can cover them all, and then Dante Culpepper runs. And when he runs, that's a dangerous guy. I mean, it's not Mike Vick running with the speed, but he is so big and he's so strong that if you get your back turned and you start running away from him, he'll run right in behind you.
All right. Hey, your first year in coaching, 1969. Do you remember what your record was?
I lost. I think we lost 1 game and tied 1 or something like that.
You lost track after your 1 loss.
Yeah,
12-1-1. Yeah. First year coaches, man. Coach, we appreciate it, man. Have fun calling the game tonight.
Stuart,
I tell you what, I got an idea. How about the rest of Monday Night Countdowns? I let those guys stay in the studio. I come hang out with you every day.
And you come every week. We'd love to have you.
It works. You know you cannot come to Charlotte without getting a taste of some auto racing. How one Panther learned that getting behind the wheel is like getting up in a running back's grill.
I'm Mike Rucker. And I'm Jimmy Johnson. I'm going to take Mike on a backstage tour of our race shops, so stick around and check it out.
And it takes a playmaker to recognize a playmaker. You want to get a Michael short list, you better bring something to the party. Who's in, who's out? Michael Irvin, 750 career catches, is next. Brinson Buckner on the field right now, getting his boys ready to do work. Coming up in about 30 minutes. Come back, hang out with us some more.
for the thrills and spills of motorsports all season long is ESPN. It's the second half of the season, and now is the time for the contenders to show their stuff. Don't miss all the exciting action of the Major League Baseball pennant races every week on ESPN. Great sports every day is ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. This week on ESPN, the UEFA Champions League continues Wednesday, including the live match between Leverkusen and Real Madrid. Thursday is Action Sports Day on ESPN with a special preview of X Games 10. Then later, the best in beach soccer take to the sands of Italy at the European Pro Series. And Friday, high rollers go for broke at the World Series of Poker. Sports all day, every day on ESPN this week. ESPN presents an encore of the finest UEFA games from last year with the best of the UEFA Champions League. Tomorrow, FC Porto completes their dream season in the championship game against AS Monaco. The best of the UEFA Champions League on ESPN. Kick off each and every weekend with the new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. All the burning issues of the moment covered in full by our expert panel. More interviews. Breaking news concerning Patrick Vieira. More interaction. Not a chance. More controversy. Just talk. The all-new ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. Don't you like football? You're running it away from football. Same show, only better. Fridays, only on ESPN.
This Monday, watch the Are You Ready for Some Football opening to Monday Night Football. And when you see the GMC truck, write down its license plate number. Then enter it at ESPN.com for your chance to win a trip to the ESPY Awards.
Visa Skycam as the defending NFC champions storm the field. 4-0 in the preseason. They trying to open up this season with a win against the Packers. We all know that big players and playmakers make big plays in big games.
At big times.
At big times.
To win.
Michael, the floor is yours.
I will take it from here. These are the guys that made the big play. Now, I want to start with number one, and I don't want to sound self-serving, so I would not say my number 5 guy. I'm not going to say, I'm going to just say it anyway. I told you so. Number 5 is T.O. Terrell Owens. Terrell went off last Sunday. 3 touchdown catches. I told you he makes the difference for the Philadelphia Eagles. I got him in the Super Bowl with T.O. right there. And number 4 is Tom Brady. I love this young man. I absolutely love him. I wanted to hold up the sign, "Marry me, Tom." That's what I watched him the other night. You're learning, Michael. You're learning. He threw for 3 touchdowns. It's kind of fun. 335 yards. Now, as Tom already told you, my number 3 playmaker, I've already reserved a spot for him. His name is Quentin Griffin. Every 4 o'clock game for the Denver Broncos, when the Redskins play at 1, Quentin Griffin should make my playmaker. Mike, he should make my playmaker. He had 156 yards, 2 rushing TDs. Quentin Griffin, seriously, great job replacing Clint Porter. Number 2, did it seem funny to anyone how last year when he was playing with old Vinny Testaverde, he looked old? Now this year he's playing with a young champion, and he looks old. And I don't know, call me what you want. Curtis Martin, you look like a young playmaker. Number 1, Dante, he was hot as pepper yesterday. Hot as pepper. 17 completions, 242 yards, 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 touchdowns. And I hate to say it, but I must because I'm an honest man against my Cowboys. Dante Culpepper, you are my number 1 playmaker.
Time out, time out. Did you say Tom Brady was fine?
I said Tom Brady is. I don't think I said fine. Did I say fine?
He said, "Will you marry me?"
I said I wanted to hold up that
just
sign.
Just a figure speech.
That said, "Will
he was playing well."
That's why.
Just checking. Hey, the Panthers have only been around for 10 years. The Charlotte Hornets, they started in 1988 before they went to New Orleans. The Bobcats start this year coming up. Racing, though. That's been a part of North Carolina tradition for decades, as much a part of this community as pulled pork barbecue, hush puppies, and Krispy Kreme donuts. Why don't we marry football to auto racing? Panther defensive standout Mike Rucker went to the Speedway to hang out with Jimmy Johnson, currently second in the point standings. Gentlemen, start your engines backstage.
How much do one of these things cost if I could walk into the shop and buy one?
For $200,000 thrown around.
Ooh. That's a tight operation.
How much do you know about NASCAR?
I'm learning. You know, back in May was my first race. Came out and I met him, and he's probably the first driver I've met. And that's the reason why he's my guy now.
What do you like about it?
I like different sports, and I like that even though they're racing cars and we're playing football, they're still parallel with each other. One question I have is, how do you fit in this?
That seat is basically molded to my body to support me in a crash. I'd offer for Mike to jump in.
I know, do you want to try?
I don't think I can get through that window.
You really don't?
I don't think so.
I don't know if I could get through that window.
Just step in onto the seat and you just slide on in.
So do I hold?
Yep, hold there. Throw the
You
foot
look like
in.
a pro already.
Oh my goodness. I can't get in the car.
We may get you in. I don't know about getting out.
Can you get in and show me how to get in?
I guess there's a
Oh
technique.
my gosh, I had no idea it was that tight.
And if you look down below, we have a four-system paint shop and baking facility. So you can basically spray a car and then bake it. 45 minutes later, you can put stickers on it and send it off to the racetrack.
That's neat. That's neat, because I got a couple of spatulas. Maybe I can pull up back there and sand those things out. Let's go! Let's go!
How much of a football fan are you?
Huge football fan. Met Mike last year, and we both were second last year, unfortunately. And this year, we're going to change it all up, and hopefully the 48 Lowe's car is going to be the champion, and the Panthers are going to go all the way.
Mike, 12 sacks last year. What's the goal this year?
Talk to my mom and my wife. We always sit down before the year, and we map out all the goals and what we want to do for that year. It makes it fun, and you know, my mom, we've always done this since I was playing in Pee Wee, and so that's kind of our bond.
Went to the Super Bowl last year but didn't win. What's different this year?
I think we know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. We know what it takes to win. We know going into the playoffs, it's going to be hard on your body, so we trained in the offseason for that. We know what that feeling is like to be at the top. And we know that we don't want to be that team walking off, getting roped off by the guys in yellow jackets. We wanted to have that blue confetti coming down.
There's Mike Rucker, selected to his first Pro Bowl, second career in Panthers history in sacks. Talks a lot of trash in the field. He never cusses, he just talks. Lets the people know what the deal is. And the other guy, Jimmy Johnson, well, the race car driver now hanging out with our Ed Warder.
Well, Stuart, Michael Irvin might want to note how little Jimmy Johnson has aged since he left coaching. Actually, this is the NASCAR driver, Jimmy Johnson. Mike Rucker and you, what are the common denominators, do you think, now that you've spent some time with him?
Well, I think both of our sports are really about teamwork, obviously with football, and I think in NASCAR racing it's a little overlooked, the teamwork aspect that it's involved in our sport. But, you know, on a different note, I think the biggest common denominator is that the Panthers finished second last year, and so did my Lowe's team, and we're both after a championship this year.
And what about, we've seen how reckless Brett Favre can be on the field. What kind of driver do you think he'd be?
I don't think I'm that reckless. I think I'm more precise and calculated with everything that takes place. So hopefully I'm one of the better ones.
But you wrecked last week. Was it your fault?
Oh, no, never my fault. Caught up in something, one of those racing deals. Unfortunately, it took us out of the championship lead. Right now we're second in points, and we just finished up our regular season and now going into the very first year of our postseason playoff system. And sitting second right now, and a lot on the line here these next 10 weeks.
A lot on the line for you tonight in your fantasy football league, too. Even though you're a Panthers fan, you have Donald Driver in your league, and you're going against a guy who has a Packer defense. So what's the ultimate outcome for you tonight?
We need a high-scoring game, from what I understand. I have to admit my skills in this whole fantasy draft thing are pretty limited, and I've got a good partner taking me through it. I'm mainly involved just so I can harass everyone in the garage area, all of my friends that are in the draft and having fun with it. So I know I want a high-scoring game, but more than anything, I want the Panthers to win.
Okay, Jimmy, thanks very much. And Stu, Jimmy wanted to be here so bad tonight that he tested today in Talladega, still came up here for the game. In fact, he told me he just left his brother in the car and ran into the stadium.
mind letting me drive his car sometime. From one NASCAR man to one of the greatest NASCAR drivers ever, Dale Jarrett, also at the game tonight. Big ups to Mr. Jarrett. Still up, y'all got to pay attention. Brett